I want to talk a little bit about Filipino time. Filipino time, commonly people think of Filipino time as Filipinos always being late to social gatherings. Um, you can expect if you have a social gathering, a lot of times uh, Filipinos will be 1, 2, maybe even 3 hours late. Um, Usually nobody shows up for like an hour after whenever the time you had the thing scheduled for, and everybody kind of knows it, and it's no big deal, and it works out, and you can adjust to this, and it's fairly easy to deal with. You just give a start time a little bit earlier. The only problem is if you have people from a Western country, then Filipinos, and sometimes you'll have to entertain guests um, that actually show up on time uh, you know, before the rest of them get there. But it works out. You can work with that. But there's another part, and oh yeah, another part of that. Sometimes you actually have a gathering and somebody be really late, like 3 hours late, and everybody's pretty much eaten. I've actually seen people come in and show up, everybody's eating, and maybe some karaoke's being sung or something like that, and they just pick up the food and they leave. Um, Pretty much, they're there for 10. They say hi to everybody, they say bye, and they leave. And they take some food with them, and you know what? Everybody's okay. Nobody cares. It's okay. There's no stigma to it. Everything's fine. Um, as opposed to in situations where um, work is involved, in the U.S. at least, the Filipinos I know in the U.S., when they have a work job, where they have to be on time, they're good about being on time for that. And they're professional in that because they know they have to be on time or they'll get in trouble with the boss and they won't have a job. And so, you know, they can be on time. It's just the social things are different. It's just the way it's been. I've heard that I don't live in the Philippines, never have, probably never will. I may visit for longer when I get older and semi-retire, but I don't think I'm ever going to live there. But I've heard in the Philippines that even on work assignments, a lot of times Filipinos are late. There's a tendency for you late. Heard expats complain about that. I'm again not an expat, so I don't really know. Uh, um, Another part of Filipino time that people don't talk much about is things taking longer than you would think they would. Um, I think this is based on things having to be exactly in a certain way. And I'm not sure this is for everybody. And none of this is for everybody. The stereotypes, there are different people, everybody's an individual. Um, this is just a tendency, a traditional thing, which could be, as I said, different for different people. But at least for my wife, a lot of times something that should take, you know, 5 minutes will take half an hour. Um, and it's really the reason for that is it's important that everything look correct. The time aspect's not as important as things looking right, and that's why it takes longer. And again, you just adjust to it and you realize that's the way it is. Another thing that I've come to see about Filipino time is leaving, actually leaving an event. Um, if I say I am leaving something, I'm somebody's house, there's an event, there's a party, uh, you know, um, pot potluck things what we usually have. If I say I'm leaving, I'm out the door in 5 minutes. Filipinos could say they're leaving, and they might be there another 2 or 3 hours, and they'll say it over and over. I'm leaving. We're leaving. My wife will say we're leaving. I don't know what it means till we actually go. I get an idea how the things work and about when we're going to go. Sometimes, like, well, they're divvying up, there's different stages of leaving a party and get an idea, but you really don't know when you say you're leaving. Just take that with a grain of salt. I went to a gathering one time and my wife was already there. I had to work and I came late in a different car and there was an American guy who was married to a Filipino and he's like, "Oh, we're about to leave." He kept saying, "No, I'm tired of this, I'm kind of tired. I want to leave." And he said that when I first got there, and because I was late, and we were watching the Avengers, uh, um, one of the Avengers movies, and it was towards the end of that movie. But we finished that movie, and the next Avengers movie, you know, those are long movies before this guy left. He honestly thought that he was about to leave because his wife said they're going. And that's I was thinking when he said that, it's like, you're going when your wife wants you to go. You think you think you're in charge or something. I'm sorry. You're leaving doesn't necessarily mean you're leaving right now. Okay, it's just this is something you have to deal with when you're relating with Filipinos. And again, people are individuals and it varies, but that's my take on Filipino time. All right, thanks.